Welcome to Hot Garbage.
All right. Hello and welcome to Hot Garbage, where we are the only trash talk that matters. I'm going to say good morning because we're recording this really early.
Yay!
Yeah.
We have coffees instead of lover boys.
Yeah. To put it into perspective how early this is, we have coffee instead of alcohol.
I thought about opening a beer just for the consistency.
If you fucking did that, I would have been really joking.
It's
I would've been like-
Saturday. Hell yeah, brother.
Saturday, 9 a.m.
Make yourself
Some
a
days just call
michelada.
for it, man. Hell yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, so if you're wondering why we might be weird, it's because it's early.
That's why we're weird.
Yeah, that's why. Never been weird
Yeah.
before this episode.
Weird from what we normally are.
Okay.
Okay.
I still don't think it's any different.
I don't think it's going to be. And my coffee's gonna kick in like halfway through this, and I'm gonna get real hyper, guys. So.
You're real hyper.
And then, depending on how long this goes, I'm gonna crash real hard. So be
Okay.
excited.
Stephanie's gonna get the zoomies.
That would be absolutely hilarious. Like if we got the zoomies in like the middle of this.
I just
Oh
start
my,
talking even faster than what I already talk.
which is hilarious because you're from Texas. So like it's fine for me because like I'm from New Jersey and like, you know, like we talk really fast up here. But like man, I really thought that like people from Texas talk slow until I met you both.
Yeah, no.
I've gotten people telling me that I need to slow down when I talk.
Yeah, see?
And I
you know that
didn't.
I just found out like the people in like the Northeast or whatever, we talk at like and like in New Jersey and like specifically, we talk at like the highest like words per minute of like anybody in the nation. Like we
Good to
talk
know.
apparently incredibly fast.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I learned something new.
Jeopardy.
Oh my gosh.
Jeopardy thing.
What is people from New Jersey? That would be the answer.
What is people from New Jersey?
I think that's when you would say, who are people from New
Oh,
Jersey?
yeah.
I think that you can say things like that.
I forgot there's a who.
I like what is. It sounds more philosophical.
Guys, it's early. My brain is not working yet. Oh god.
Okay. All right. You know what? Let's get into motherfucking share time. You want to know what I'm going to do at this early hour? I'm going to talk about healthcare for mine.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Let's formally apologize to the upstairs neighbor who works at nights, who I usually am very quiet in the morning for. Because I know he works nights. So let's formally apologize to him.
We're sorry.
So sorry.
Just post a link to the episode on his door.
I know. Your apology.
All of a sudden I get like a quiet notice and it's like from him and it's like, bitch.
Listen to Hot Garbage.
That's what I'll give him back. I did apologize. It's on Hot Garbage. I give him the link.
I was going to tell you to soundproof your ceiling, maybe. I don't know if that works, but you're going to move soon anyway, so it doesn't matter.
This apartment complex is the shittiest. Maybe I should change my share time. No. No. When I leave here, we will gladly tell you about this place.
I can't wait for that share time.
Oh my god, because oh my god.
That's
I'm like
gonna
not
be an
trying.
one.
Yeah. Let me put it to you this way. Let me just like, you know, like this will be the teaser. I yelled at them on an answering machine. And because of that, I got them to do their job.
Yay.
And now I'm not allowed to talk to them.
You made us work. Fuck you.
Okay. Like that's quite literally what happened. I made them do something, and now I can't talk to them. I'm literally banned. I literally got an email. I'm literally banned.
Amazing. Love that.
Yes. So that's what you guys get to look forward to in months to come
When
we
you give
finally
your
leave.
notice, how is that supposed to work if you're not allowed to talk to them?
Well, Keenan's allowed to.
Oh, okay, never mind.
They like him.
Yeah, no, it's just like personal. It's not like the unit. It's just like personal.
Can't even talk to your dog, but it's just not you.
Like I got put in timeout.
Okay.
It's just me.
I don't know why it's so funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. Because I got put in timeout by the building management.
Just phrasing it as timeout.
Because it is. You're not allowed to talk to us. Okay.
That's fine.
Thanks for doing your job and fixing it.
At least it's fixed.
Yeah. All right. So my motherfucking share time is going to be why you want universal healthcare. Because as soon as I start talking about universal healthcare, people are like, "Ooh, I want that," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, you really do."
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to preface this, and I just want to start out by saying that every single politician has universal health care. We, the taxpayers, pay for their health care. When Lauren Hobart, that's what I call her, I have nicknames for them. They have nicknames for us. I have nicknames for them. So Lauren Hobart, when she had her pulmonary embolism, the taxpayers were the ones who saved her life. She did not pay any money for that. We did. Okay.
Yep.
So these people that tell you you don't want universal health care are getting it. So never
Must be
forget
so
that.
nice.
Yeah. Like they don't pay. We pay. So never forget that. Okay. So let's talk about the benefits of having universal health care. Now, number one benefit for everybody is that it would actually save you money because the government negotiates drug prices. So right now we are privatized companies. We have privatized insurance companies, and those are the ones who are allowed to negotiate drug prices because they're the ones that are selling. So it came up a rule a long time ago that they're the ones that get to negotiate drug prices. If the government holds the healthcare, then because of that rule, they're allowed to be the ones to negotiate the drug prices. Now, with the privatized insurance, they aren't regulated, meaning that's why all of our stuff is 500% above market value. I use insulin as an example because it's easy numbers and everybody knows it. It costs 17 cents to make a vial of insulin. I'm so serious. The guy who invented insulin said he created a patent where he makes it in a big giant tub vat because he said it's a drug for everybody. So it costs next to nothing to make a vial of it, and he sold the patent for like no money because he said it's a drug for everybody. It is 17 cents for a vial of insulin.
Mm-hmm.
Here in America, it's $128 and up. In Canada, $3. $3 last time I looked. Switzerland, $4. Okay.
Even if it was $3 or $4, they'd still be making such a big profit off of a
I know.
17-cent
Yep.
bottle.
Yep. But because it's not regulated, they can charge us $128. Now, if the government holds the healthcare, they're the ones that get to negotiate, and you can't charge the government 500% above market value because they're not going to shell out that money, and they know. We don't have the power to know that. We don't have the power to fight that. We don't have the power for any of that because we're held in a chokehold from these privatized insurance companies. So that's number one on the list. Everybody that has a prescription drug, you are saving money, period, point blank, and the third. Number two, yes, the money is coming out of our taxes. Yes, our taxes are going to go up. I'm going to use Bernie Sanders because I actually campaigned for Bernie Sanders, and this was why, because this was one of the big things on his platform, which is why I did it, because I'm somebody that's very passionate about this. You can tell. So basically, Bernie Sanders, his thought was, I'm going to charge the billionaires their fair share, which is why he got stonewalled.
Yep.
which that's why the DNC is the one that stonewalled him and said, no, we don't want that, because they didn't want to have to pay their fair share either, because the politicians are the ones who would have to pay their fair share, and they don't want to do that.
He wasn't playing the game. That's
exactly. He wasn't playing the game. Adam Kinzinger didn't play the game, and he went on that January 6th committee, and he lost his job because of it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing the game. They're not playing this partisan bullshit. We're only for the party. They're playing for the country. And the people running the country don't want that.
Yep.
So what was I saying?
Taxes.
Right. It comes out. So Bernie's plan was that the extra tax money would come out of the rich people's pockets, because it should.
Mhm.
Because they get these things called tax breaks that we don't get.
Yep.
We don't make enough to itemize our taxes. We don't have the resources that they have. They don't have the accountants that they have. They also are given tax breaks through tax codes, which gives them basically at the end of the year more money back. So they don't have to pay as much in their taxes. So that's why Jeff Bezos and Amazon, who's been given human rights as a corporation, because we did that as well, get to pay $0 in taxes. Okay, let's be honest about the situation that we're in right now.
You could also do it without raising taxes. It's just reallocating what we already spend.
And that's that's the other thing that we could do, is we could reallocate a lot of our military budget to this. We defunded things like Planned Parenthood. We could have taken that money and funded it into something like this instead, because a universal healthcare system would also help women.
Yeah. Believe it or not.
I know.
Right.
Which is another reason why we can't have it.
Right. Because we can't help women.
We hate them.
So, also taking that, you are not paying a privatized insurance company. Right now, what we're doing is we're taking our money and we're paying a privatized insurance company. With our tax money, we're just paying our regular taxes. We're not paying a company. We're paying into our regular taxes. And because of that, we're rewarded with universal health care. Right now, we're just giving money to a privatized institution that then can say, hey, I don't want to give you that medication because it's too much. I am going to use my personal experience for this. I have Crohn's disease. My doctor wanted to put me on Entyvio, which is what I'm on now. My insurance denied it. They made me go through Humira. Now, Humira fails in 60% of Crohn's patients. They made me do that. Didn't work. Then they made me do Stelara. Stelara, my doctor basically said, is probably not going to work because it's the same. I'm basically giving myself a shot every couple of weeks. So he basically said it's probably going to be the same outcome. And it was. So then finally they approved the Entyvio, and that is what I have been on, and that's what got me off my steroid. That's what's been, so the medication my doctor wanted to put me on in the very beginning, but I had to go through a year and a half of a crock of bullshit because the insurance company didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
So with a universal healthcare system, you don't have to worry about that because nobody's sitting here telling your doctor, no, you can't do that. So let's talk about pre-existing condition protection. Because a lot of people don't know that before Obamacare, we didn't have pre-existing conditions protections. Basically, an insurance company could deny people and say, no, we're not going to help you. We're not going to cover you because you have XYZ, or we're going to charge you an arm and a leg because you have XYZ. So with Obamacare, we got a pre-existing condition protections. People don't understand how fucked up that was. So I always talk about the real world. San Francisco, there was this guy, Pedro. Everybody knows about Pedro. If you know anything about the real world, he ended up dying of HIV. During his season, he was actually incredibly sick with HIV, or he died of AIDS. I think that's how it actually works. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a little ignorant on that. But you actually watched him on the show calling hospitals, trying to get treatment in San Francisco, and they kept denying him. They hung up on him. And he, at this point, his T cells, which is T cells is a fancy name for your immune system. You're supposed to have like hundreds of these. His was like 20 something. And he got denied hospital after hospital after hospital. This is what I mean by if we had a universal healthcare system, they can't deny you like that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that Obamacare gave us. However, it's a step up from what Obamacare is. So I always like to bring that up because I think that that's something, because a lot of things are pre-existing conditions. If you have asthma, that's a pre-existing condition. I have a pre-existing condition with Crohn's. Certain allergies are pre-existing conditions, like nut allergies, tree, certain like food allergies too.
Stuff
Like they're
you're
all
born
pre-existing.
with.
What?
Stuff you're born with.
Stuff we're born with. Birth defects. For a long time, actually, this is actually really like, this is something that you all should go and look up. But for a long time, people actually wouldn't put down autistic diagnoses or ADHD diagnoses because it could actually hurt you getting insurance coverage later on. So for all the people that are like, oh, we're diagnosing it at such a large rate. Yeah, no, we're actually writing it down because now we have pre-existing condition protections. Because those were pre-existing conditions and you could have been denied insurance because of it.
Yeah.
So that's a big reason why we're seeing now an uptick in it and why we're actually getting people help and why we're doing things that we need to start doing. Thank you, Obamacare. As much as you all hate it, thank you, Obamacare. Now I'm going to get into it not tying you to your job, because right now you're tied to your job because if you switch, you have to take 3 months probation and you have to worry about you having a lapse in your health insurance and whatever. So it's a way for a company to keep you there because you're tied to it. Because if you leave, your family might not have coverage. For me, I'm somebody who, if I leave, I don't get my infusion that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is like a big concern for people because you're tied to your job. So now it's easier for your job to say, well, we're not going to give you a raise this year. It's easier for your job to say, oh, well, we don't have promotions right now. It's easier for your job to deny you the raise that for cost of living. When was the last time anybody got a cost of living raise? Be for real. So when you're not tied to your job like that, and you have health insurance no matter what, you can go to your boss and say, hey, I need a raise this year to come up with cost of living. Like, I can't live on this salary anymore. And when they say no, you now have the power to go find another job that will pay you more. And then you can say to your boss, I have this job offer. What are you going to do? And either he's going to give you a better job offer or you're going to leave. You now have the power to do that. When that would also probably, there are like theories that would also help minimum wage actually rise, because you can't keep minimum wage at $7.25 when you're paying everybody else what they should be getting paid.
Yeah.
So that's also a big reason why you can now have flexibility. You now can negotiate your wages more. You now have a way of, if you lose your job, you don't have to worry about not having health insurance. Now, what companies are doing in other countries like Canada, and like Canada is a big one. I know a lot about Canada. That's why I'm saying Canada. They're doing something where they've taken our privatized insurance and made it a benefit for their workers. So in Canada, you don't pay anything out of pocket except for your prescriptions. And again, your prescriptions, if you're getting insulin, is $3. Okay. So let's take that into account as well. Like, we're not
They're
paying
reasonably
$128,
That's
right?
so awesome.
We're paying $3. Okay. So, but what these companies have done is now they have these things called pharmaceutical insurances, where your company will give you an insurance where they'll cover your prescriptions. So now you really aren't paying any money for anything. And it's an added benefit in the company. You see how now it's working for us and not for benefit of big business and big billionaires and these insurance companies and these pharmaceutical companies. Right now, what you're fighting for is to help give these pharmaceutical companies more money. And what I'm going to talk about is my conspiracy theory. And when I start saying it, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's
Yeah.
not. And it has to do with GoodRx. I believe that GoodRx is funded by the insurance companies. And I believe that GoodRx is a scam to scam us out of our money by the insurance companies. So GoodRx has prescriptions that are cheaper than if you go through your insurance, right? So that's great for people without insurance because you're like, ooh, I actually can get prescriptions, right? If you have insurance, you're paying $200 to $500, depending on if you have kids and whatever, every single month or every single paycheck sometimes to your insurance company, right?
Mhm.
On top of that, you have a deductible that you have to hit. So if you have a $2,000 deductible, you have to hit that on top of it. If you are getting all of your prescriptions through GoodRx, you are not putting any money towards your deductible with your insurance. So think about it like microtransactions. That's what they love to do on our little phone games. You're more likely to buy 99 cents than you are $10. They're little microtransactions.
Mhm.
So think about prescriptions like microtransactions. You're chipping away at your deductible. So if you end up in the hospital and the bill's $2,000, you have to pay 500 of it because you've been paying your deductible. Now, if you've been getting all your prescriptions through GoodRx, that entire $2,000 bill is a good chance it's all yours because you didn't put any money towards your deductible. So now you've been paying the insurance company your premiums every month out of your paycheck. You've been paying, and now you're paying them that entire $2,000 bill, and you've been paying prescriptions out of your own pocket. And what money did the insurance company shell out in any of that?
Not a damn thing.
This is why I think GoodRx is a scam. And I think it's a scam to scam us out of our money. And it's a way for the insurance companies to keep getting richer and a way to keep pushing us down. This is why I'm so big on healthcare, because it gives the middle class power back. Right now, the middle class has nothing. They've priced us out of buying homes because private equity firms, which is another whole thing. And I'm just going to say this really quick. The government acted like they helped. And they said, oh, well, hedge funds, you guys can't buy up these homes anymore. Hedge funds were never buying up these homes because the definition of a hedge fund is that they pay out their people in regular dividends, meaning they need cash on hand. So they're not tying up their assets in long-term investments like real estate. That's just by definition. So it's these private equity firms that are coming in and buying up all these properties, tearing down all of those homes that they're buying up, and then putting giant condos on top of it and then charging us an arm and a leg, like how I was saying with my apartment earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So having a universal healthcare system, I understand that you don't want it to come out of your taxes, and I understand that you think all of these things that these politicians are telling you. And I'm telling you that you would benefit on every single level from having it. And just because it gives power back to the working class and back to the middle class, and it gives us something of a negotiation once again. And that's why I'm huge on it. That's why I'm big on it. That's why I explain it the way I do, because I think when I talk about it, you're all of a sudden seeing the benefits of it and why you want it, because you should.
Mm-hmm.
And again, those politicians get it and they tell you you don't want it.
It's one of those things where, like, if you don't call it universal healthcare and you just explain it to people, they're like, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
But the second you say universal healthcare, like, oh no, that's socialism. Therefore it's communism, because I don't know the fucking difference.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You guys really need to learn the difference between socialism and communism. Like, like I see it on Twitter all the time. Like somebody will say something and like somebody will retweet it and be like, "What do you think communism is?" Like,
or my favorite, the Nazis were socialists. It's like, yeah, and North Korea is a republic. You can call yourself
like,
whatever the fuck you want.
like that doesn't mean that that's what it is.
Yeah.
The Nazis wouldn't call themselves fascists either, but they certainly were. So yeah, I'm really passionate about it. I hope that you guys heard that. I hope that you guys are like, yeah, you know what? And you start thinking about it a little bit, because these people are trying to tell you that you don't want something, and it's the Democrats and the Republicans, because they're rich people and we're not, and they don't want to pay for you, but they want you to pay for them. And that's how you always have to think about politicians. That's exactly, they want to figure out a way where they don't have to pay, but you do.
Yep.
And never forget that. They're not your friend. None of them are. Even though I champion for Bernie, don't think I didn't think he was like, you're not my friend.
Yeah.
Like, you're not really like gung-ho about me because I'm still poor and you're not.
You just care a little bit more than everybody else.
Right.
Or at least are better at acting like it.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. AOC. AOC, I think, is somebody who's acting like she cares about us more than she probably does, but I'm fine with it
I
because
think
she's gonna help me.
Mhm.
If it gets stuff done, like, I don't care.
Yeah, honestly.
Exactly. And and I'm gonna say that's what Harris's like campaign is like, we're not going back. Like, we've been going so far forward, we're not sliding back. Like, we can't do that. We
Mhm.
can't. We can't. Just for marginalized people's rights, women's rights, gay rights, trans rights, just for rights of everybody. We can't slide backward for anybody.
Mhm.
And as a white person, I'm going to say I'm going out and I'm voting for everybody else. I'm not just voting for a little white girl in New Jersey. I'm voting
Yeah.
for all of my friends. I'm voting for my best friend who's originally from Morocco. I'm voting for everybody because I understand what's going on. And I think more white people need to get on that boat.
I saw this has I mean, it's about Kamala, but I saw a post on Reddit talking about like a bunch of like staffers were like quitting on her and stuff like that because it basically narrowed down to she thinks. Like they were all like if you came to her with something
She's asking you to do your job.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
if you came to her with something like she would like ask questions about it and stuff like that. I'm just like, so she does her fucking job.
Yeah.
Like,
And she's asking you to do your job and you have a problem with it.
dude,
Okay.
it's hard. Like, come on.
Why can't I just sit here?
I'll find it again and send it to y'all. But like it
Yeah,
even got
please
down to
do.
something like if you'd pay her a compliment or something like that, she'd turn to you and like ask why.
Yeah.
It's like
But like, okay, like, why do you say that? I'm running for president. I would like to know people's perception of me. I think that that's a perfectly reasonable.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like, are you fucking serious? Like, I'm sorry, you have to do your job, I guess.
I'm running for president. Why do you say that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, does anybody have brain cells anymore? Do they
No.
actually teach the scientific method anymore in schools?
Mm-mm.
I don't know
They
what they
don't?
teach in schools, but I don't think it's enough or it's the right thing to be teaching because these kids are. I'm
No,
sorry,
they're coming
guys.
out like,
Oh,
Yeah.
here it
like-
is. In the latest article about Kamala Harris's staff turnover in the Washington Post, former staffers complain that she expects her team to be just as prepared as she is and to be able to explain everything they put in her briefings and schedule. And then, what's it? Some of Harris's early staff was also discomforted her by her prosecutorial leadership style, former staffers said, which included pointed questions from Harris about footnotes in their reports or the reasons behind why certain items had been added to her schedule. It's stressful to brief her because she's read all the materials, has annotated it, and is prepared to talk through it.
are you fucking kidding me?
You can't come to the vice president and just ask her to do something. Said another staffer. You need to have why. The behavior manifests in other encounters.
Yeah, Stephanie, say it.
Such as when someone pays her
Stephanie,
compliments,
say
she'll turn
it.
to them and say why, and then that throws them off, the staffer said.
Stephanie, say it.
Like, what do you expect her to do? Like, do you just want her to like just like what? Like, I don't fucking understand what you're expecting.
I was thinking it, Stephanie, and you had the reaction. That's why I was like, say it, because I was thinking it. I was like, and what is she supposed to do?
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna do it because you said it, and I'm not gonna ask any questions.
You gotta
I'm just gonna
assume
do it because you said it.
you gotta assume there's probably some crossover from like Biden's people that are like jumping over here. So they're used to talking to a corpse. So there's no pushback there.
Always napping, so they just go ask him questions and he doesn't say anything. And they're like,
He's like
perfect.
this. He goes like this.
It's like, sure, man.
They
Sounds great.
didn't put the adrenaline in yet, so he goes like this. Yeah, as hard as we've made fun of Trump on here, I think that was pretty. I think we went pretty hard on him right there.
Yeah, I mean, well deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was in our group chat or like or if it was on here, but when he got shot in the ear. He
Which I'm sorry, but
took
like
him so
I'm
long to wake
sorry,
up
but
from
the
his
whole
nap.
stage thing is gaining legs, and that's why we're gonna laugh about that because like man, he got shot. Nobody did anything. We haven't heard from the doctors. We haven't like when you think about other assassination attempts, like we would get like round the clock coverage. Like this is like the live updates of this guy, right? And like this happened and everybody's just like and like 3 days later was like whatever. And like I'm sorry that like to like give it legs, but like you're giving it legs.
Yes.
It was like a day of coverage, and it's just like, oh, he's wearing a maxi pad on his ear. It's like, okay, cool.
And then like it was gone the next day, and then it appeared 2 days later. Like I don't understand. Like,
and then everybody at the fucking RNC just.
Can
I just say something? Can I just say something? Whatever like hit his cartilage, whatever pierced his cartilage, I used to pierce ears, right? It was a piercing pagoda, but I still had to go through like some sort of training, right? So let's just like let's put my credibility out there, okay?
I'm semi-professional.
I'm semi-professional. I'm semi-professional. People would come to me about certain things and I would be like, I wouldn't get that here. Like I was like please understand that I understood what I was doing. I'm not one of like these like anal people that was working at like this piercing pagoda going like, we're the best. I'm like I had to like I did have to practice on people, but like a lot of it was a cardboard ear and then like people that wouldn't sue the company. Okay, but like I did go through training. Okay, so like semi-professional. Okay, like Will Ferrell in that movie, Pharrell in that movie, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's me.
Good movie.
Okay, but from what I know, which is like I have like some knowledge, right? Like I have ear piercings. I've gotten my ears pierced. Your cartilage never grows back. Like your cartilage is like always forever. Like I closed up one of mine and I can still feel the little ball of cartilage. Like
yeah, me too.
Like it never goes back, and there's like not even a mark there.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking them up right now. His ear grew back, guys.
Like I have to say it. Like it's not my fault. Like it's not my fault that I know this information and I have to share it, but like that's the truth.
Give it a second and Stephanie's background is just going to change to a close-up of Trump's ear.
Oh my god, I should.
Either that or the picture of him like
Don't do that. Don't give that
I'm
one
not
legs.
doing it. I
Yeah,
can't. I can't sit here and look at him in my background.
Oh my god.
The thought of it makes my stomach hurt.
Yeah, so I just want to say that. So like it's not our fault. It's not anybody's fault that like everybody's saying that this is staged. Like we need actual proof that like this isn't at this point. Like how come we don't know anything about the shooter? Like let's talk about that too. Like I don't know anything. Like that all disappeared.
The only thing I know is that he
$15
liked Trump
that
too.
one
Didn't
day.
he was like, I don't even remember what it was anymore.
Exactly, because how long was it in the news? It was in and out as fast as possible. But what do you know about that little kid's school shooting that just happened? Right?
The 14-year-old?
Yeah.
I don't even know much about that either. I know the dad got arrested too, but
he should have. But yeah, okay, like we know more about that. How come we don't know anything about the assassination attempt on the former president?
The only thing I remember was like he was a fan of like some YouTuber that like it's like some gun channel or something like that.
Right. But
he had the guy sells hats that are like the MAGA hats, but it says make politicians afraid again. And I was like, I can get behind that.
I can get behind that too.
I sent you guys a picture of his ear from his first appearance without
like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like where is it?
That doesn't exist. His ear grew back. He is a lizard.
He looks
That's
like fucking Jabba the Hutt.
Honestly, a side profile really does.
It truly does.
Just needs like a tongue, just like like that's all he needs.
Look at that spot that he missed with the orange. And that contour, his contour is so bad.
Did you see the picture of him without his spray tan? And I was like, look how ghostly he looks.
No,
He looks just like Biden without that spray tan.
I try to avoid him as much as possible.
Oh, I saw it. He looks just like Biden without that spray tan.
Let me see.
Like the only reason he doesn't look as old as he is because he has a spray tan on.
Yeah.
Just looking at him makes my stomach hurt. I can't even look at him. Ugh.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah, let's move on. All right, so that was my motherfucking share time. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you guys got educated. I hope you guys are like, yeah, I kind of fuck with that, Laura. All right, who's next? Stephanie, what's your motherfucking share time?
All right, guys. This week, La Mariposa got engaged. Kristen Doute is engaged, guys.
Finally, all good for her.
She is engaged to Luke, that fucking weirdo.
He is such a fucking weirdo.
She's a weirdo too, though. Let's be honest.
She is weird.
She's a weirdo, but I really cannot, like, Luke on the Valley. He just gave me really bad
he's cringy.
vibes. Yeah,
He gives me like chills.
Yeah, something's off about him. Something.
The ring is fugly. I'm sorry.
Yes, that ring is very big for such a small band. And
it's like a giant rectangle.
It looks like costume jewelry.
It does. And I don't know how that actual, and I'm going to say I used to sell jewelry piercing pagoda. And I'm going to be for real. I don't know how that stone is staying on that small band. Like just knowing how like jewelry is like put together, like there has to be four prongs, and I don't know where the 4 prongs would be. And if it's like a long like prong, like that whole entire like width of that rectangle, that is such a flimsy piece of metal. Like that stone is gone.
Could it actually just be costume jewelry, just like for the show? Like that would kind of make sense, wouldn't it? Like they're obviously
and she has a different ring that she puts on.
Yeah.
At home, like she has like her at home ring.
Yeah.
And then she has like this show ring.
Yeah. That's actually a great point. I did not mention that they are filming the Valley. First I saw it was just them, and then now I'm seeing all these pictures of everyone from the Valley at their fucking engagement. So it's definitely for the show. That's a great point.
I saw me.
Well, we were saying that we knew that she was getting engaged. That's why she had her nails the way that she did.
Yeah.
And so that would also make sense.
Tyler called them hot dogs.
Like it does look like the inside of a hot dog though. No, but like now that like you're saying that and like knowing that they're filming and like we had already said that she knew she was getting engaged, like this was definitely set up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how much the show like also helped facilitate the ring purchase. Like how much like money did they get off on that ring because they did it through the show?
That's a great point. They probably got this whole the whole thing's probably paid for, right?
Yeah.
They
pay for their trips, like when they go and whatever, like they pay for them. So this boat that they were on was paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so lucky.
It's got to be like at least like a fake ring just for the show. Like they want something like you can see, so they just went with a big old fucking rectangular stone, and she probably has like an actual.
Where are you going to put a wedding band with that?
Yeah, like how do you put a wedding band with that? Like it's gonna have to go underneath it too. Maybe that stabilizes it. Maybe they did a custom one. I don't know. I think she looks great at her engagement though.
She did look really good. She honestly did look really good. I still thought the same thing when I saw her. I was like, Kristen, you look really good there though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she looks amazing.
No, she looks really healthy. Like I felt like last season, like I didn't want to say anything, but last season she just like looked unhealthy and like felt unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I even like kind of thought that when she popped up on Vanderpump with the whole Sandoval thing. I didn't want to like say anything because like I don't like to draw like because like I think that she's beautiful no matter what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do think that like she looks healthy.
Yeah, she looks healthier now. She looks her face looks she looks a little Sheena-y.
She does, but I'm fine with it because she just looks like she looks healthy.
Yeah. When she had popped up on Vanderpump, she looked like she had aged like a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like,
And
that's
then
what
even
it
on the Valley
was.
too. But
Mhm.
And it looked like she all of a sudden aged 10 years.
yeah,
And, like, when I saw her here, she looked her age again.
Mhm.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
she stopped
Like
drinking or something, because I think drinking kind of makes her ugly.
Could
like
be.
being sober.
Well, because she I don't know, maybe it's just her personality when she's drunk. It makes her
Her
look like
personality when she's drunk is very ugly.
yeah, so it makes her look ugly too, I think. Because she looks a mess when she's drunk. Like, honestly,
She does.
Yeah.
she has
Think
crazy
about
eyes.
Solvang when she was like falling all over herself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the little
The
German
wine
town.
trip with all the
Mhm.
girls. That was
Mhm.
bad. That was
Yeah.
bad, Kristen Doute.
That was terrible.
Kristen Doute's, I think, even like embarrassed by that.
Mhm.
I think she said that.
Yeah, La Mariposa.
I'm very excited for her though, because like I know that this is something that Kristen's wanted for like I can't like the entire time that we've known Kristen, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. The whole
Yeah,
run of
So like
Vanderpump.
I'm very happy for her finally, because like this is something that she's always wanted.
Mhm. She
Yeah.
wasn't engaged to that Alex guy, right? They just lived together.
I don't think that they ever got engaged, no.
Okay.
And if they did, then it was like right before they broke up and it wasn't long.
Mhm. Tyler,
James
you're
Kennedy
gonna.
would have. What?
I was gonna say you were gonna say something about a meme earlier.
Oh yeah, it was just like it said like Jack's like watching everybody on vacation in Hawaii,
I
and it
saw
was like
that.
Shaq just like standing behind like a telephone pole, just like.
And he was just like this. I saw that too. I thought it was so funny.
Hilarious. Is
I think-
Sheena on the vacation?
I don't know, but I'd like to know how Sheena feels about
That's
the
a
whole
good
thing.
question.
Oh, she's gonna make it about herself.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, I helped plan that. I helped pick out the ring. I was with Luke. I did this. I
Yeah.
did that.
I bet she's gonna do that, and then on top of that, she's gonna announce later on that night that her and Brock are renewing their vows.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Nothing's ever about Sheena though.
Can I tell you how funny it is that she didn't get called for fucking Dancing with the Stars again?
Hilarious.
Like
So
each
funny.
and like honestly, like don't ever call her just to keep the bit.
Yeah.
It gets funnier every year, honestly.
Like every year that she's not announced on the cast is like better and better. Like it's funnier and funnier. Like keep it for the bit.
I hope someone else gets asked before they. I hope Kristen Doute gets asked.
They have Kristen on, and she
God.
like that's like literally like I think that like if they had like Stassi on or like Katie on, I think that like she would take it on the chin a little more. But if they put Kristen Doute on before her, she would be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
just
She
make the
would
whole
call her
cast the
manager.
women of Vanderpump except for Sheena.
She would literally call like I could hear her on the phone with her manager going, "You're fired. I can't believe."
I call them myself this time.
It's literally been everybody else but me. Like, what are you doing wrong?
They invite James Kennedy before they ask her. They invite Jax before they ask her.
DJ James Kennedy would say yes just because they didn't ask Sheena, and he would do it just for that. And you can't deny that he would.
And when he smirks at the TV, because you know he will, you know that's to Sheena.
And he looks at the camera, they're like dead straight, almost like Jim in The Office. Like,
Wait, and this is gonna be Jax.
you have to tune into the YouTube if you're not watching the YouTube right now. Just for that moment, you have to get the timestamp and go to the YouTube with that timestamp.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I'm not even going to tell you what photo it is because I want you to go look at it yourself.
Just Jack's all coked out on Dancing with the Stars. It'd be so fucking hilarious.
He's 100% coked out. There is no possible way that's not a man who isn't coked out. Look at that. Look at the look in his eyes.
Look at the camera like this. There's not a thought behind those eyes, though. He's not looking at Sheena. He's just staring.
Just not a thought behind those eyes. I love that.
There isn't. All he can think about is when he's going to get more coke.
Looking at it, and then he goes back to reality. mid, like halfway to like into looking through the camera, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I'm on Dancing with the Stars."
God,
It's live.
I don't want to laugh about like anybody's mental health or anything like that, but he posted something the other day talking about like he went to like a
Jax deserves it.
behavioral hospital and stuff like that. He's like, always knew that there was something wrong with me, that I found out I was bipolar. I'm like, you found out you're bipolar? Like, have you not watched yourself for the past 12 fucking years?
Jax, everybody but you knew you were bipolar. Everyone but you knew you were bipolar.
God, like, it's like, are you really that shocked, dude?
Like, I'm not. I'm really glad that you got a diagnosis and you can get on something.
Hopefully he gets on something.
Take your med every day.
And not Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't self-medicate, okay?
That's not your medicine, Jax. He's just
my
staring
God.
at us like this.
I know, now he's like looking at us with that face. We're sitting here talking about him and he's looking at us like that.
He's in his own world right now.
The blood. I think that's why it's so intimidating, because we're talking shit about him and he just says like blood.
I've known for years that there's been something wrong, but I just didn't want to know. During my stay, I found out a lot about myself. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder
And PTSD.
Yeah, we know.
I hope somebody did comment that, like, we know.
Been screaming it for years, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Like also like, yeah, I think we also all knew that you had like PTSD from like your dad and everything like that, because you like the 180 of a person that you became after that. Like, I think we all knew that like you were going through some shit.
Yeah.
That's when you decided you were going to marry Brittany. Like, and like that,
Oh
like,
my god, you're right, that was.
like in that like honest breakdown.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which, like, fair.
Yeah.
And now they're getting a divorce.
And everybody's taking Brittany's side. And
Yeah.
we're over here making fun of his mental health. And, like, it's just, like, I hope everybody saw my face of it, like,
Yeah.
Brittany, when she said, and now they're getting divorced. I was like, let's beat a horse while he's down. He got out of rehab. He found out he's bipolar. He's getting a divorce. And we just, like, kicked the puppy while he was down.
Oh, and everyone went to Hawaii without him.
Yeah. They started filming the show while he was there. That's how much they didn't care about his presence. I'm so mean.
I mean, think about what happened last time he was there. Well, I guess second to the last time, because he was there for was it? No, that was in Mexico.
Yeah, they didn't. I think this is the first time he's been back in Hawaii since.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
remember he had to fly back for court on
yeah.
Vanderpump?
Yeah, that story was so funny.
Yeah, I was like, dang.
Talking to Lisa, like, hey, I have to call in tonight. I have to go to court in Hawaii. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I stole a pair of sunglasses I could have paid for. I used to work at a sunglass hut. I think about that every time that we talk about like the story. I used to work at a sunglass hut.
Mhm.
Like, I actually like know like what trouble he got in with them. Ready for a funny story? Okay, ready for this? Okay, so I used to work at the sunglass hut, and there was like one in Macy's, and then there was the kiosk, which is where I worked, and I would help out at Macy's because I was Macy's trained, and so I would help out at Macy's, and I would go and do the counts, and I would always get like negative like 4, negative like 3, negative like whatever, and I would tell the manager. And I would be like, there's something wrong. And she's like, well, you're not counting right. I was like, let's talk about this. And that's like, I can't, like, that's how I explain it every time. Like, let's talk about this. Somebody from a different store is coming into your store and saying that something's going wrong with your store. And you're trusting all of the people in your store that could very easily be colluding together and counting wrong on purpose together
Over the
to get
neutral
one over
party.
on you because you literally are this stupid. and so turns out there was a guy who worked there who would have his friend come in, ransack the store, leave. They would go split the shit up in the parking lot. And the only reason he got caught is because he used his real name on eBay.
Dumbass.
What a fucking dumbass. What a fucking dumbass. I'm like, your manager is that stupid. I'm over here telling her that, like, she's that stupid. And she's, like, not picking up that she's that fucking dumb. And you're ransacking the store behind her back. Like, and you used your real name. You were outsmarting her.
God, fucking moron.
Max only wishes he was that smart.
And he got in trouble for grand theft because, like, the sunglasses that you steal there, like, are, like, sometimes $500, which is grand theft.
They have, like, Gucci and, like, name brands there.
Like, they sell Tiffany's there. They sell Chanel's there. They sell, like, and it's a store in Hawaii, and where it was in Hawaii, I'm sure that they had all them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was in Waikiki. Like, there's designer stores all down.
Yeah. So there, I'm sure that they had the contract with Tiffany. I'm sure they had the contract with fucking Chanel. I'm sure that they had Bulgari's in there. Like, like he stole. Like, I would sell sunglasses that were like $600-700. Like, I'm sure he stole one of those.
Probably.
And if you're selling sunglasses that are $600-700 and somebody's sitting here saying I'm getting the wrong counts, and like this was the other thing, like when I first started like helping out over there and like working there, they had 2 giant backstock boxes of extra Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses. And when I was there counting them, there were 4. And she's like, "Oh, well, we had recalls and like we're selling a bunch of sunglasses." Yeah, but you would like be getting them back in shipment and you're not. Like there's like 100 reasons why you're getting fucking robbed. Like,
and I doubt you're selling that many $600 sunglasses. Like, come on.
We live in Podunk Town, New Jersey. Like, be for real.
This TMZ article says that he stole a pair of Polaris shades.
Isn't that like cheap shit?
I remember it was like $300. Like, it was 300 and like something.
Is it per soul?
Huh?
How do you spell it?
Polaris.
Yeah.
Polaris?
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And they were... Oh, wait, no. He got fined $350. Oh, no. No. I don't know how much the sunglasses were.
He could afford them. That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
Is he could have just paid for them. He was like literally didn't feel like waiting in line. like imagine you just didn't feel like waiting in line, so you just walked out with them.
Or, impulsive erratic behavior, which is a symptom of
bipolar
disorder.
Which it like so is when like you say it like that. Like, I didn't feel like waiting in line, so I stole the sunglasses.
Mm-hmm. Again, we all knew.
All right, Stephanie, is that all your share time?
1 second.
I was like ragging the shit out of fucking Vanderpump. Can't wait. We're filming in.
No, I'm done.
I was about to say we're filming in fucking fall, and then we get the fucking mugshot. Look at him in his mugshot. Look at his little smirk.
Look at those eyes. Guys,
he's literally like, I'm a model. I'm at a photo shoot.
I'm gonna use this later.
Let me smize. Let me show Tyra Banks.
With my bloodshot eyes.
That are like a little glazy.
Yeah, they are glazy, aren't they?
He went in there like, I'm going to use this as a headshot later on.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how he's posing.
Yep.
He's like, rent's due, and I need a new headshot.
Look at that smirk.
I'm going to print this out. I'm going to put it in black and white, and it's going to look good.
No, that's called I'm a celebrity and I know it, so I'm gonna make sure that I have a good mugshot.
Yeah.
You guys notice that there's like his veins are like popping out on his forehead.
Because he's clenching his jaw. Do you see? He's literally clenching his jaw. You can see it.
He's fiending for coke right there. He knows he's not going to be able to do something for at least a couple hours.
No, men they clench their jaws in photos because it gives them like a more squared like face.
Ugh.
So they clench their jaws in photos, and that's what he's doing.
Okay, that's my share time, guys.
Us like not being nice people at all to Vanderpump.
we go from Doute to Jackson's mugshot. Doute to Dancing with the Stars. Somehow we're here.
Yeah, I mean, like we made fun of Sheena in the middle. Like the only one that like probably deserved to get made fun of was Lala, but she like just had a baby, so we're like, you're postpartum, we have to leave you alone.
She didn't go to Hawaii trip, so she's irrelevant this week. Well, she had a baby, but who cares? She was pregnant forever.
She's irrelevant this week, but she just had a baby.
Yeah.
Pregnant for like 2 years.
Dude, yeah,
we literally were cracking up the other day because somebody, I forget who, but somebody sent a picture and we were like, why the fuck is Lala still pregnant? And then like 2 days later, she had the baby.
This baby is coming out like crawling, guys, because it's been in there for so
like,
long.
I mean, like you're pregnant for 10 months, but it felt like she was pregnant for like 15 years. Like it really like
it was a long time.
I swear back like when it was
it felt like a year.
When was the
like we had like it took a year to cook the baby. Like
like at the finale she's as big as she is now. Like how the fuck are you still growing that baby?
I'm sure that she was thinking the same thing because apparently toward the end of pregnancy you're like, can this thing just come the fuck out?
Well, yeah, it's been in there for 3 years.
I like how we like let her get away from it and then we brought her in.
The other one who made it out was Lala, but fuck her!
Man, you're pregnant for fucking ever.
Just kicking everybody while they're down.
No one was safe.
We spent about 2 minutes on Kristen.
Wait, hold on. Let's bring the Toms in. Let's bring the Toms in. Your bar closed because you suck. They changed the name back to Pump from Tom Tom because nobody wanted to be associated with you anymore.
Yeah.
Tom Schwartz, how do you feel, you fucking ferret? Since you don't have a fucking spine, you fucking ferret.
He does. He looks like a ferret. And
He's a fucking ferret.
While we're at it, let's bring in Joe. Joe is posting some fucking weird ass pictures.
Yo, what was that? Like their year anniversary of like breaking up, and she's like, here's like this photo montage of Schwartz. What was that?
She posts a picture of her laying down, all depressed, eating raw fucking pasta. Like, what the fuck are you doing? What's wrong with you?
The year anniversary of their break.
What the fuck is wrong with her? She's like,
no, it was so
crazy.
Fucking weird. Like, it was so fucking weird. Like, what are we doing? Like, why are you reminiscing on, like, this relationship that, like, we all watched him be really fucking shitty to you? Like, what are you doing? You look desperate. You need to stop. We don't want you on the show. We don't.
That's why they'd be perfect together, though, is because, like, that's some Schwartz shit. It's like,
I could see
him being like,
Katie.
Happy anniversary of our divorce, Katie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, right?
We should fuck one more time.
Yeah. Still trying to. He wants to lay in bed and eat snacks with her, and she's like, fuck you.
Katie's like, why the fuck are you talking to me?
Yes.
Like, go away.
I divorced you for a reason.
And like Dana are standing behind her. It's like her posse of like, what the fuck, ferret?
Ferret.
I'm sorry, but like Tell me that like Schwartz doesn't move like a fucking ferret. Like how they
No,
have
he
like
does.
literally how they can like move the way that they do. Like
How they can move the way that they do. I get what you mean. Very funny way to phrase it.
Yes. Now every time I see him, I'm probably gonna think ferret.
you're gonna put a ferret. Put Schwartz's face on a ferret.
Next
That's gonna be the
background.
thumbnail.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Now that we
I think
gave
that's
everybody a
everyone.
little bit. Now that we gave everybody a little bit.
Well, wait. Now we got to go after Stassi. Keep
Get away
being
from
you.
Stassi. She refuses.
I don't have anything to say for Stassi.
No.
She's fine.
Stassi literally is like, I'm getting my own reality TV show away from them, thank God.
I know. Just
She's
her
just
and
living her
Bo.
life. Like she's doing great.
No,
I'm
she's
excited
really
for her
like, I have
show.
kids and a husband. Like, I don't need that.
As
Yeah.
much as I didn't like her on the show, I'm like, you know what? You're doing fine. Like,
I
I'm
loved her
proud
on
of
the
you.
show, but that's because I'm evil too.
Yeah, I love her. I'm gonna watch her show.
It-
Oh, I'm
it was
gonna watch her
just-
show too.
It was just the bratty behavior that like
Yeah.
She
got on
was
my
a brat.
nerves,
Mhm.
But
I bet she's still a brat, but
She's
a
still
little
a brat.
less because
Yeah.
she has kids.
She has kids, but she's still a brat.
Mhm.
I'm
be
sorry,
fun to hang out
Stassi.
with.
Stassi, I
Yeah.
relate to her brat because like I feel like she's gonna do the same thing that like I do with my dog, where like my dog will like go and like hang out with Keenan, and I'll be like, wow, I just got snubbed, and like I feel like she feels like that toward her like kids. Like if Harper like decided to like, Mom, I don't want to play with you, I want to play with Dad. Like I'm sure that like that hit hard, and she would be like, fine, I don't like you.
It's my birthday.
It's my f***ing birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I think that's everybody, right?
Yeah.
I'll give it to Stassi a little bit. I love you, Stassi.
Oh, we got them all.
They're just really, really easy targets. I don't know.
I mean, they put their life out there. It's
Yeah.
like, you have to deal with it.
Yeah. Okay, Tyler, what's your motherfucking share time?
Did any of y'all ever actually like get to watching The Anonymous at all? Or
No.
Oh shit, no.
okay, it's no big deal. I wasn't gonna go into like spoilers or anything like that. But
I forgot.
like I
Two
said,
episodes
it's fun. But
Dude, I
Well,
was like in it when we left that podcast. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch it.
yeah, I figured I would have heard something from y'all if y'all actually did. watch
This
it.
week, Tyler, I'm gonna do it.
Uh-huh,
We're gonna do
okay,
it.
Sure. So I thought this was going to be like a really quick show, like the way like people were just like dropping off and stuff like that. And then this week they did this whole thing where like everybody got like new icons for like their anonymous chat thing. But then there's 3 extra ones, and then 3 more people walk in the door. I'm just like, how long is this show gonna go?
That's what the circle does. So
But yeah, I mean it's still just as good as it was last week. Like I'm still liking it. Can't wait for
Yay.
Monday again. So that's all I got. 'cause I
Mondays.
don't want to spoil it for
Mondays, Stephanie, Mondays.
Yes, Mondays. We don't have The Bachelor anymore.
Yeah, maybe that's
Bachelorette.
why we forgot.
Yeah.
It's on Peacock. I remember that.
Mhm. And we're not gonna watch The Golden Bachelorette, so
I don't want to watch Joan.
no, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna watch that. So
I'm
we
sorry.
now something else
I'm
to
sorry.
watch.
I have a problem watching old people make out. I really do.
It's not even like that. It's just I'm so burnt out on Bachelor and Bachelorette.
After Jen, I'm gonna be for real. Jen burnt me out, and we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that when we're out of share time.
That's a good segue right there. Let's just go
Okay.
into it. I don't
All
have
right,
anything more than that.
Tyler didn't watch. Tyler read an article, and that was enough for him.
That's all I needed to know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Let's just rate the season as like a -2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Jen, you were not the person for this role. You were very immature. You were not ready. It just wasn't. It wasn't it.
It was very obvious they went through at least like 2 or 3 people before they got to Jen to ask her.
Yeah.
It very much showed.
And I would like to say that we really championed for Jen for a very long time. Like we gave her a nickname. We got her Jentastic. Like we were really like in there with her.
Mhm.
And so if we're saying it, like I'm really sorry, I can't anymore.
Yeah.
I think I preferred Zach's season over this season.
Yeah, and that was a pretty
Yeah.
bad.
That was a bad season, yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad season, and I
Yeah.
agree. Honestly, it's not all Jen's fault because the men that they gave her absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There really were some good guys that like she got rid of pretty early on, but there weren't that many.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You know, Jonathan was kind of the one that made it far, who was like the one who was worth it probably.
Mhm.
And even all those
Jeremy-
early ones, like who knows if they would have stayed like good.
Yeah,
Like we're just going by
Mhm.
like 1 or 2 episodes of them.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. We don't know anything really. So I'm gonna say that Keenan saw Devin for the first time. And I said, that's the guy that looks like Pete Davidson. He said, are you fucking kidding me? And I said, no. And he said, I thought that you were going to tell me that it was the other guy. Because what? So then I showed him Marcus, and he goes, yeah, it looks about as much like Pete Davidson as the other guy does.
Yes. Stop saying he looks like Pete Davidson. He looks nothing like Pete Davidson.
He
he's
said,
just pale. That's all.
yeah.
Yeah. And he got a
and
tan, so
he's Keaton literally said he looks like an unathletic version of Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is on the, you saw it, right? Jason Tatum is a basketball player on the Boston Celtics, so you can go look him up and just look at his face, and literally Devin is an unathletic version of him. When he said it, I had to write it down.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Stephanie, look it up.
I'm looking it up. I don't see it.
Maybe you have to see him playing.
Yeah, maybe. This picture, maybe.
Yeah, they
His
look
face is
very
like-
much so. Yeah, they look very much like it's pretty spot on.
I can't even look at Devin. I fucking hate him.
Yeah. Keenan also said that's a girl who's delusional and has a crush on Pete and decided that he was here.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Keenan really doesn't like the show to begin with, so that's why. Like, it doesn't matter who you put in front of him. He doesn't like the show. He's going to say something mean about it.
Oh yeah, that's why I like watching it with Nick, because it's kind of funny the things that he says.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Like, so basically, Jen's family doesn't like Devin. Jen's brother does not like Devin. Jen's mom doesn't like Devin. Nobody likes Devin. They don't really like Marcus all that much either.
Story of the season. Nobody fucking likes death.
I don't like fucking Marcus either. I'll throw him. Yeah. Jen did the absolute worst picking her last two. Those fucking two guys don't even like her.
Neither of them liked her.
No, neither of them like her. Devin is forcing something, and Marcus is I don't know what the fuck is up with Marcus.
Marcus isn't even acting like he likes her. Like, he just is like, how do I keep getting not eliminated?
Yeah, exactly. There's no winning the show, Marcus. Like, do you not understand what the fucking show is about?
I don't even think he wants to win. I think that he's like kind of like, why do you keep keeping me? Like, that almost feels like what Marcus kind of was saying to her toward the end. He's like, why do you keep keeping me?
But then he says, I love you.
Marcus was Space Force, right?
Yeah, Space Force.
Okay.
So Jen ends up going to Marcus's room and saying, like, do you love me? Do you want to be engaged? And he's like, yeah, I guess so. And honestly, that segment was like 45 fucking minutes long, and they said nothing. And like the same thing over and over again. And it was like literally 30 minutes.
Marcus literally is thinking of the word right before he says it. Like, I don't think he like I am right now, he's not forming a sentence correctly. Like,
he can't string words together to make a sentence.
No.
It was very like, and it wasn't in the same way that Sam M was.
Mm-hmm.
It was like almost like the jig is up and I don't know what to say.
Yeah. He was like, I don't want to lose you. Like,
literally, that's a pretty accurate. His face was very like this the whole time.
Yeah. Like,
very like he almost looked confused the whole time.
Think hard.
Yeah, like grown man have to think hard. Like, that's how he was like. I'm like, what the fuck?
He is Space Force, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He packed an American flag. Like, that's what we all should have known. He's not here to win, or he's not here to get to the end to get engaged. He's here to brag that he did some tours in Afghanistan or whatever. I didn't listen because as soon as he sits down with Jen's family, he just starts
I
like,
fast forwarded.
okay, well, this is what he fucking did, okay? I got so fucking annoyed, I stopped listening.
I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, yeah, I'm done.
No, okay, so this is what he does. He sits down and he introduces himself and immediately starts telling them about how he got left up or he got put up for foster care. Then he talked about all his tours and everything, and Jen's family sitting there like this. Like, okay, we didn't ask any of this. Like, why do you like Jenn? Like,
Just walks in the door and starts immediately telling his life story.
Exactly what it looked like. He walks in and just starts saying his life story, and no one asked. Like, no one even asked. Interview. Like, yeah, no one asked. Like, oh, can we know a little bit about you?
Jen's brother's face when Jen's brother's face to his sister was like, why would you bring these two home?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was almost like offended at his sister would like bring these two.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was like, did you make this decision or did they make this decision? Like, what happened?
You have to make a decision at the end? Like,
pick no one.
Unimpressed.
Yeah.
No, but her brother basically said pick no one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
Like, he basically said to her, I would pick no one.
It's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So after 30 minutes of this conversation, and I'm not joking, like, it was literally 30 minutes, she sends him home. So it was a completely long conversation that no one needed.
Oh my god, it took forever, and I watched it live, and no, I didn't watch it live. I watched it the next day, and it felt like it was live because it went on for so fucking long.
Oh, it was so long. So I fast forwarded all of his little after the final rose segment. I was like, I don't care about hearing another word come out of your fucking mouth. I don't care what words you string together. Like, I actually don't want to hear you anymore. And I just fast forwarded.
I actually finished my book during his after the final rose thing, so I don't know what he said either.
Because we were just so sick of hearing his voice at that point because we had a half hour of nonsense.
Yeah, so I just read while he talked because I just didn't care.
He just sits down with Jesse, and Jesse's like, hey, and he just starts going on about his life story again.
Probably.
So I was in foster care.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's exactly what he does. And then when he's done with his story that he recited perfectly in his head, then he has to make up words. Himself. Yeah, then he has to make up words to actually carry a conversation, and he's like,
can't.
I think I love her, Jesse. Like,
yeah. And Jesse looks at him like, okay. Like, Jesse literally looked at him. So he sits down with Jesse. I'm so sorry, Jesse Palmer. I fucking floated over your one scene. He sits there with him and he's like, so how do you feel about Jenn? And he says that, and Jesse like literally was like, has this face like,
he does have that face. He's like, what the fuck?
Like, Jesse was like it almost seems like that they cut out like so much of the conversation, and Jesse was almost looking at him like, it took you that long to say that? Like, and like, I was like waiting for Jesse to like look at other people. Like, I'm not crazy, right? That was fucking insane, right?
No, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like, I think after that, they're like, we can't, like, let's be a little nice and just tell Jenn, let's go break up already because this man is not for you. Because they wouldn't have let her not take that date.
Oh my god, I know. Like, literally, like, I feel like Jesse walked over to her and was like, you can't go on that date with that man. Like, you actually just have to go break up with him. Like, yeah, I'm telling you. Like, fuck these producers. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And honestly, he's told his story like 4 times already. We can't hear it again. Like, we need
it's like rehearsed. It's like the same thing each and every time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So then we get over to Devin, and they show Devin getting the ring. And then Jesse interrupts, and he's like, a bunch of shit transpired after that. So then it goes to Jenn, and Jenn said that Devin and her got engaged, they left, and he started pulling away. So a month before they started filming the finale or whatever, they had a happy couple weekend scheduled, and he like broke up with her and didn't want to come, and that was just the end of the relationship. Which doesn't make any sense because he was obsessed with her, saying, I love you so much, I'm obsessed with you, and then broke up with her in the same time span. Like, time span that it took to fall in love, time span that it took for him to break up with her. Well, what we found out recently, meaning today, yesterday, I think maybe, whenever I sent you guys that screenshot,
think it was just yesterday.
Yesterday.
Mhm.
So we find out yesterday that Devin has been hanging out with women while he was engaged,
Mhm.
meaning he never took this engagement seriously. He never once took it seriously because he was hanging out with chicks that look like Lexi.
Yeah.
That chick looked like Lexi.
I saw a video though, and it's not Lexi, but it looks a lot like her.
Yeah. No, I could tell it still wasn't, but I was like, that bitch looks like Lexi.
When I saw the picture, I immediately thought that was Lexi.
It looked just like her.
Yeah, I noticed her before I noticed him because I hate him. So like I didn't look at him first. And I was like, oh shit, is that Lexi? Who's she with? And I was like, is that fucking Devin? That piece of shit?
Yep. So there's like pictures and videos that came out. He's been hanging out with like girls like while he was supposedly engaged, and Jenn said we were supposed to be working on things at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what working on things. So they, oh my God. So then I was reading my note because I was like, I'm really offended by this. So they break up. We talk about their breakup. We get Devin out there to talk about their breakup. Devin and her are talking about their breakup. And then together, while sitting on the same couch, have them watch their engagement and all the nice things that they said to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And she's
That's
crying.
That's
so
the part
much.
that I read that I was just like, this is kind of fucked up.
It was incredibly fucked up.
And
like,
I
didn't
got
she straight up
offended.
say, like, do I have a choice?
Yeah, she did.
Because
And
I'm not gonna walk
Devin's
off the
just
stage.
staring at her while she's bawling her eyes out. He's just looking at her like,
Because he's a sociopath.
yeah. And he
We
didn't
never
have
liked
no
Devin.
emotion.
I would
No.
like to say that we never liked Devin. We never said nice things about Devin. We said that she should just go pick him because that's what her decision wanted to be.
Mhm.
But we always hated him.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why.
We told y'all, motherfuckers. Just kidding.
He
Y'all are
was-
not motherfuckers.
He was entertaining for like 1 week. Where like
It wasn't
he just
even
kept
entertaining
interrupting
for
other
1
people.
week. It was more so like he just was like less shitty than the rest of them and was kind of getting beat up by the rest of them. So we
you
felt
know-
that.
You know what? Aaron, Thomas, and Sam all tried to tell us, even though they all had a
Well,
horrible
none of them
way
have any room to talk. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all just as shitty.
They're all
actually, the
just
three
as
of you
shitty.
can sit the fuck down.
They're all just as shitty. And so maybe that's why we didn't trust their judgment.
Yeah. And so you guys could have said that from now until the days come home, but Sam M, you suck just as bad.
Mhm.
Aaron, you fucking were here because you're Noah's twin brother, and then you had some school with your army, whatever, set up, and you had a finite amount of time there. You're not going to sell me on anything different. And Thomas N, you're the one that was like, you're not tall enough or old enough to ride the ride, so get the fuck away from me. And that's exactly how I feel about the three of you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I will call you three motherfuckers because you are.
Mhm.
Thomas N, I literally hate you. Like I literally hate you. I hate you.
I'm a misogynist.
You like look the way that you do and you're like, I'm big, bad, and tough, and it's like, okay, pipsqueak.
I know. I know.
And then Sam M, I hate you too.
Mhm.
Just because you're easily hateable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say the things that you say, it's easy to hate you.
Mhm.
And then who was the other one? Yeah, you just decided
all
that you were
suck.
going to sell us some lie that I'm supposed to buy.
Mhm.
So fuck off, all of you. That's rich.
Mhm.
And that's how I feel about people. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk exposing people. Today we did this for the Bachelorette men. We did this for Vanderpump.
Yes. We're in a great mood today, guys.
Welcome to the morning.
It's morning time.
The morning roasts is what it is.
Yes, it is. It is the morning roast.
All right, so let's get on over into Big Brother,
wait.
which is
You didn't mention the big reveal that Jenn said that the day after they break up, he immediately messages Maria. And it causes all this shit with Maria.
right.
Like, that's annoying. They're not...
Maria had to come out and make like a video and say like, I didn't follow him back. I didn't know who he was. Thank God I didn't. I'm not following him back now.
Yeah.
And basically it's like, I don't need to be brought up into all this shit. Like, leave me alone.
Don't come
And
for
her-
our queen.
That's right.
Yeah, her queen. And her and
Daisy.
Jen are not friends anymore.
Okay.
She mentioned that at the end of that video, but she said she'd never disrespect her or anything like that. So
Were they ever really friends? Like, wasn't Jenn one of the ones that was just like going after her for no reason on that season?
no, her and Jenn were friends on.
Were they?
No, that was what's her face?
Because it was
Leah.
like 2 or 3 people like in a row that were just going after her for
Wasn't that
no
Leah?
reason.
Wasn't that
I don't
her name?
remember.
No, I thought her and
Or is that a different season?
I thought
Am I like
Maria-
blending seasons?
I don't remember who it was.
No, that was Joey, right? Leah? Isn't that her name?
I don't
Ellie?
remember.
And she
I
was
don't
from
remember
Hawaii.
Leah.
She
I
was
don't
from
know.
Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, wasn't that her?
Yeah, it was her, and then Jenn and Maria were friends, and then they were like Jenn or Maria even said like she's happy for Jenn afterwards and stuff, and she deserved it. But then I don't know what happened. They became not friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember from that season is Maria. So
Love Maria.
Maria's who we kept.
But if they're not friends, I think it's very weird that Jenn would mention that on After the Final Rose with no context.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then it made people think that Maria was doing stuff that she wasn't. And
Yeah,
so
I
she had to
agree.
make that
And
video.
I would like to give Jenn like just a like moment of grace where she was under a lot of pressure. She was dealing with a
true.
lot, and maybe she didn't like think about adding the context.
Yeah. That's
Like
true.
she was very sad. Like it might have just been something that like didn't think to come across.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into Big Brother because Big Brother's good. Big Brother's amazing. I'm going to tell you right now, you two are spoiled because you didn't have to deal with like the shitty seasons. Like we haven't had this good of a season, and I can't tell you how long. Like this is, it's
so good.
exponentially better than like the last like 10 seasons combined. Like it's really good. So the HOH competition this week was the egg through the chicken wire where they have to with their little fingies through the chicken wire, feed the egg, and then put it down a ramp. And
the ramp has barriers.
Yeah, and then you have to hit the little letters. This was such a fun competition because everybody was so neck and neck that when somebody would get it, everybody would cheer.
Then Angela just sitting there at the beginning the whole time, just waiting for other people to drop eggs.
Angela was more concerned about not being a have-not than winning HOH. And she literally was like, I'm not eating slop again. I'll kill myself.
She's like, I'm just going to wait here.
And she quite literally waited there. And then looks at, who was it? She looks at, who did she say it to? She said to somebody, I think it was Chelsea. And she says, Chelsea, just drop your egg. And she's like, are you kidding?
Chelsea was so offended.
And then
diary room.
Mackenzie's just like, okay, Angela, you can start now.
It was MJ. Yeah, MJ. Okay, you can start now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so funny. But it was so funny. Oh my god. I love Chelsea in the diary rooms, and that's because Chelsea's clearly not being fed anything. And you can tell when she's like really mad because she doesn't even look at where the camera is. She's looking at the floor because it's only a camera and then a speaker speaks to you. Like there's no one actually in the room.
Yeah.
So she's not speaking to anybody. And so she's so mad that she's just like speaking to the floor, like yelling. And she did it for the Angela thing. She's like on the edge of like the couch and she's like, and you asked me to drop mine? Like it's almost like she's talking to the speaker, like the voice that's coming out of the speaker, she's like speaking to. Like, can you believe that shit? Like,
I'd probably be doing the same thing, to be honest.
I know. And so I love it because it's so authentic and like we're really seeing who Chelsea is. And I love it because it's so funny because like everybody would have that reaction. I would also like to say that Quinn didn't come up with that concept of like breaking the egg yolk, and he knows he wasn't because they made him explain like how like he shook up the egg to like break the egg yolk or whatever. And he was like almost like annoyed that he had to explain it because he knows that people know because he's not the first one to do it. Like they've done it a bunch. Like people always like there's been like a bunch of people to do it, and he's like, we don't need to explain this.
Mhm.
Like, we don't. Like,
Yeah.
MJ ends up dropping and says, Angela, you can go ahead and start. I wrote it down too because she was like sitting there on her knees so defeated and was just like, okay, Angela.
Yeah. Yeah, like a little annoyed at the same time too.
Yeah.
I would be.
So Quinn ends up winning, and he said to Chelsea, I'm putting up Angela and Rubina, like right away. So then he had to figure out his other nominee. So he ends up putting up Chemo because that's who else voted for Tucker, which I want to state because that's a big reason as to like. So there's this thing called Rob Has a Podcast, and there's this guy Taryn on it. And Rob Sesternino used to be on a season of, he was on like 2 seasons of Survivor, and he started this podcast, and now he has this guy Taryn who does Big Brother. And Taryn was all pissed off that he's like, why are you putting your ally on the block? And when he ends up putting up Joseph for the veto, like we'll get there, he's like, why did you put your ally up on the block? And he keeps like harping on this. And it's like, I just want to say to Taryn, like, all of his allies voted for Tucker. He was gonna have to put up one of his allies. The only other option he had was T-Core, which is another one of his allies. Actually, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You get paid a massive amount of money to do this, and the fact that I have to say those words to you is actually disgusting because you know who you are, and I shouldn't have to say to you, well, T-Core's his ally too, and Chemo's his ally too, and he has to put somebody up.
Like,
And so I just need to say that because I've been really pissed off at Taryn for like a lot of days because of it, because it's like, you get paid how much money and I have to say that?
Yeah.
Like, stop saying that shit with your chest out, actually.
The guy's like prided himself in like how many alliances he's in and stuff like that, and basically how he's like, he's good with everybody in the house. It's like, who the fuck is he gonna put up?
You need a reason, and the reason was you voted for Tucker.
Yeah.
Sorry that that meant that his ally went home, but he knew that that was a risk, and yeah, his face was funny, but he also knew that was probably going to happen, and that was a risk, and like he was kind of prepared for that, but what else was he supposed to do? He was stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
I don't get the hate. Like, these update accounts on like Twitter and like these podcasters that have like platforms are hating on Quinn so hard, and it's actually pissing me off because you people have a platform and you people are using it to like dog on this person that like doesn't need it and doesn't deserve it. Like, Quinn's been a nice guy. He hasn't said anything about anybody. Like, he's not doing anything wrong except for playing his game. And you people are being absolutely fucking assholes to him. And it's actually pissing me off because like you're giving these other assholes legs to be assholes. And it's like, you're an asshole too. Can you fucking knock it off? Like, we didn't like Tucker and we weren't saying this shit about him.
Yeah.
We just called him annoying.
Because he was.
Yeah, he was super annoying.
We're not sitting here being like, you're so stupid. Like, we're saying like that was probably a stupid move and like he's not like set up long term, but we're not sitting here like dogging the guy.
Yeah.
Like, so I need to get that off my chest because you people are being real fucking mean to a kid that doesn't deserve it. And it's actually really pissing me off because you all are just a bunch of bullies and you have a platform to be a bully. But how many times have I watched this show with you where we've like rooted against people together because they were bullying? Let's talk about season 20 where they were all in that room bullying Nicole and Ovi and we were all pissed off about it and we all banded together saying that we hated them because they were bullying them. Why are you ganging up on Quinn? Stop being a fucking hypocrite, actually. How about
Don't
that?
bully people, says the podcast that spent an hour talking about everybody on Vanderpump.
I'm being mean.
I was being a bully, though.
We admit it. We admit
it.
Just as I'm listening to you, I'm just like,
this is 100% the pot calling the kettle black. Maybe
we're aware of it, at
I'm
least.
embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I don't know if I want to ask you to cut it out or not.
No, because we were going after the Vanderpump people for things they actually deserve to be like gone after about. Like,
yeah.
Quinn isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, he's just playing a game.
Yeah.
So
That's
Yeah,
very
he's
true.
playing a
Thank you for
game.
making me
Yeah.
feel better. As you made me feel worse, you made me feel better at the same time. I appreciate it.
that's what I'm here
The
for.
the Vanderpump crew are reality TV stars for a reason because of
Yeah.
how they live their lives. Quinn is just playing a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not stealing sunglasses that he could easily afford.
Yes.
Right. Right. He's playing a game and you all are like dogging him for it.
Yeah.
And it's like he's doing the best with what he has. Like it's fine that like here's the thing about Quinn too. Like he's literally been on the live feed saying like I know I'm acquired taste. Like I know that they probably don't like me. Like he gets all this stuff about him. So like you guys bullying him is like nothing new to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you people think you're getting out of this. But he's gonna come out and probably be like, yeah, I am really loud, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like that's
know.
exactly how he's gonna come out.
I've liked him the whole time. He's just
Yeah.
like he has his moments where he's like a little much or whatever, but
I
like,
think
he's
he
fine.
understands that about himself though.
Mhm.
We all have those moments.
Yeah.
I totally know I have those moments too. So
I'm sure we're all a little much on this whole fucking episode, but
I'm
you
a
know
lot.
what?
I have my
Yeah.
boss
know
calls
it.
me a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to Wednesday. It turns out Chelsea wanted T-Court, Rubina, and Chemo up. Because Chelsea said, fuck it, let's have a split house.
yeah. And we love
Chelsea
Chelsea.
was like, fuck it, you guys voted for Tucker, let's have a split house. I actually really love Leah. Like this past week, I've really fallen in love with Leah. And
Yeah.
it's because Leah's doing like this. Leah's doing what all these guys do. And I think that's why people don't like her. But she's flirting with all these guys and like they're all just friends. But she's flirting with them and like she's making them so stupid that they're just like walking around on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like they're almost like they're like the vacuum that keeps running into like the fucking wall. Like they all just keep running into each other because she's made them so stupid by flirting with them.
I had a moment watching this episode where like they did the whole thing where like it's her diary room or whatever, and she's like, yeah, you know, I really like Quinn as a friend, and I really like Joseph as a friend. I was like, it would be so funny if she's just like been a lesbian or something this whole time and just didn't tell anybody.
Remember, she's a chubby chaser, guys.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, that's her.
true.
Which is why we didn't like her to begin with, because we were like, oh, fucking vomit. And then like as like we've been like going on, I'm like, Leah, you like becoming one of my favorites.
I
Like,
know,
you're
me too.
just
I'm liking her.
She wins one competition and then became a villain, and I was just like, yes.
And
like,
it was
I love it.
I can't tell you how much I loved that because she knew that Quinn didn't want her to use it.
Mhm.
And she's like, but Angela's pledging her loyalty to me, so I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
And like I loved that because it was like, yeah, you should.
And she admits, I'm playing for my game, not Quinn's game. So like, yeah, you do you, Leah.
Mhm. The smirk
And she's
she
pledging
had
her
where-
loyalty to me and MJ. Like, why am I not going to take that?
Yeah.
the smirk she had where she was just like, I kind of want to do something big. It's
Yeah.
like,
I love
it. Do it.
I was like, do it, Leah. Oh, it was great. Leah also didn't want to get picked for the veto. Like, she actually didn't want to get picked for the veto, and then she ends up winning the veto, and she's like, cool.
I know.
That was the best part. Just like didn't want to be there. All of a sudden she's there. All of a sudden she wins. She's like, okay, let's do something.
Yeah, she's like, okay.
Yeah.
She like presses the button. It was so funny when she like emerges and she's like on her hands and knees and like presses the button and it's green and she like turns and looks at the camera and she's like, I won.
That was I loved that. I loved how excited she was over the overalls too.
She was like, this outfit is so cute.
Yes.
I was like, I love you, Leah. Like, I loved her after this episode. I think that they like did her such a service to like the community and like the audience because they like really made us like her.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's like, I've been like slowly really starting to like her. And like now I'm like, yeah, no, I'm on the Leah train.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah. She went from background character to like main character, like in a second.
And it's because she used what she needed to get a better position. And it's like, I love that.
Yep.
And also another thing, we were thinking that she was some bad person when she wasn't after all.
Yes. Yes. Let's talk about that. So Chelsea came out crying one day from the feeds, and the feeds were down all day. Like, we actually don't know what happened because the feeds were down pretty much the entire day. and it was because Chelsea was crying, and T-Core had said to Rubina, like, Chelsea was crying because somebody said something about race. Everybody assumed it was Leah because of a conversation. I don't really know what happened. But for some reason, everybody assumed it was Leah. I and some other people kind of were really skeptical of it. And I'm going to say I was skeptical of it because pre-season, we saw all the tweets that she was saying where she was like saying like Black Lives Matter and like all this other kind of stuff. So I was like, that doesn't add up.
Yeah.
So that's why I was very skeptical of it to begin with, just because like what you're telling me doesn't add up and we didn't have the feeds all day. So that's like, and I'm not trying to say that like, I'm trying to say that because I'm white and I don't feel like I can say what's racist and what's not.
Yeah.
But Tucker also had stuff on his Twitter and Instagram too, like with Black Lives Matter and him at rallies and stuff.
Yeah. So we still don't know what was said, and we need to state that. We don't know what was said. But what we do know is that it upset Chelsea enough that she cried, which is what we should all care about.
You can also like, try to be like too supportive of stuff like that and it still come off wrong. Like think of the movie Get Out where the guy is talking to like the black boyfriend. He's like, "Oh, I would have voted for Obama for a third term." And it's like, okay, dude. Like
Right. And so that's why I want to say like
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So that's why I want to like kind of like say why I was thinking that. Just so I'm like so everyone gets where I'm like, that's why I'm saying that. And turns out it wasn't actually Leah that said it, because once Tucker left, they kind of had an I Hate Tucker party. And all of Tucker's fans were like, "Oh, I don't know why they're all saying this right now." I was like, the guy wins everything and he's kind of aggressive. Like, why don't you think that they didn't say anything? Like, did you not see how he talked to Cedric? Did you not see how he talked to Angela? Like, you can't exactly talk to the guy.
Yeah. He sucks.
And so during that I Hate Tucker party, Chelsea had said something, and we all started cluing in as to it might have been Tucker that said it, not Leah. So then I didn't watch it, but one of my friends on Twitter that I've made through Big Brother, and like I trust her, like I really trust her, like she's a human, like she's real, like she pays attention, whatever. She listened to Joseph's exit interview, and she said that after listening to it, she pretty much says, yeah, Tucker was the one that said what he said. And that would make sense as to why Chelsea was so excited when she voted him out. When she voted for Tucker, like she was like, I finally get to vote you out. And she was like real excited about it and stuff. So I just want to say, like, if that's what happened, like that would make sense a little bit. And so Joseph's interview pretty much gave, and Lisa's a black woman. Let's also state that, like, my Twitter friend that I'm like referencing here is a black woman. Like, that's who I'm listening to in this situation. Because again, I don't think white people can say what's racist and what's not. So just for all those people out there with Harris, just to say that. I don't really think that we can say, I don't think a bunch of white people are allowed to say if she's black or not. Just saying. This is the same situation. So who I'm referencing is a black woman. And she basically said, like, what I got from that was, yeah, Tucker's the one who said it. I didn't listen to it, but I'm going to take her word for it because I think we all should. And I also know that she's a real person and like we're friends and I know her. So that's what I'm going with. And a lot of people were in her comments saying like, yep, that's exactly what I read from it too. So it kind of came out that Tucker was the one who said it, not Leah. And we've avoided this conversation for like a couple weeks. Like this has been a thing that's been going on for probably like 3-4 weeks now. And we kind of avoided this conversation because we didn't know what happened. And again, we're a bunch of white people, so we didn't want to put anything out until we started getting more information. And I feel like now we have enough information that we can say this.
Also, Joseph came out and basically said that Tucker was the one that said something, but he
so
didn't
you
want
listened to it? Did you listen to it?
I listened to it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I listened to it, and he said, "I'm not going to say what happened because it's not my story to say, but it was Tucker that had said something. Chelsea's upset with Tucker."
Okay. Cool. I'm glad that Joseph came out and said that because I feel like somebody had to come out and say that, and Because I'm going to be honest, I'm more mad at CBS than anybody else in this situation because CBS shouldn't be hiding this from us. Like, I understand that you don't want to deal with the problem and like the PR crisis that comes with it, but in not telling us, you're honestly doing a disservice to every single person in there because you're even doing a disservice to Tucker right now. Like, we know that Chelsea was upset and that's what we should care about, but we also didn't know what Tucker said. Like, we should be aware of like how we saw Luke say the N-word. Like, we should be aware of the situation and have all of the information to make an educated decision, which is another reason why we didn't say anything until now, because we didn't want to make assumptions. We didn't want to say anything. Like, we didn't have all the information. We still don't. But this is something that we have that's concrete now.
Yeah. There's no reason to talk about it when you don't know anything
Right.
about it.
Right. Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of people on Big Brother Twitter that should take that. Don't talk about it if you don't know anything. Because you painted Leah like this.
I know. So people hate it, start to like not like her and like talk bad about her. And like
she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, talk about her character and shit.
And it was just because of a bunch of assumptions. And it's because CBS hid it from us. We don't have the playback feature. Like, what we used to have on the live feeds is we used to have a playback feature. So we could go back and like watch what happened like a half hour ago. So these update accounts could like record what was being said. We don't have that feature anymore. They actually got rid of it because they didn't want people to go back and put the clips on the internet. So they've done everything to like keep us closed off from this type of information, but like now this is what's happening when you're closing us off from the information.
Yeah.
So, and I hope that Chelsea is able to come out and give her side of the story and they don't mute her and they don't tell her like you can't say that because we don't want it to be like a PR disaster.
Yeah.
Like I hope that she gets to say her piece because I think that we should all know what happened. So basically Quinn basically begged Leah not to use it. And Leah said, like, I kind of wanna. So she uses it on Angela. And I have to be honest with you, when she uses it on Angela, I have to be honest, this is where I really started to think, is there really an all-girl alliance going on right now? Because if I was in, like, knowing what I know, every single time that a woman brings up an all-girl alliance, they get taken out right away. Like, somebody says she mentioned an all-girl alliance and they get voted out. So I would never actually say the words out loud, but what I would do is I would just group the women together and we would all just kind of vote together and we would just not vote out any women. And I feel like that's what half of them are doing at this point. I feel like, I was talking to Keenan about it yesterday, I feel like Leah had her own idea on how to make the women's alliance go. And I think that Leah had the idea that she was going to like run the women's alliance and like she was going to use all the boys to get us there. You know what I mean? And like, that's why I feel like she used it on Angela. I feel like that's why Leah's like jumping on the all girl thing because I think like she wanted to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And so now she sees an opportunity now. Yeah. And so she sees the opportunity and she's like, let's fucking do it. And I feel like MJ's kind of on that same wavelength because she's always getting closer to the women than she is the men besides Cam. But now she's almost using Cam as like how Leah was and like making Cam stupid and like wrapping Cam around. So he's kind of stupid to the Women Alliance too. And I'm going to get into the vote and what happens on Thursday. That also really makes me go like, I really am thinking that there's an all-girl alliance that they're all silently doing together. So I really, because that's how I would do it, right? And I feel like T-Core's smart enough to do that. And I feel like Chelsea's smart enough to do that. You know what I mean? And I feel like Angela's such a big fan of the show that she almost would just do it because she's a fan of Big Brother. You know what I mean? And then like they're just like dragging Rubina because she was with Tucker. You know what I mean? But I feel like that they're doing it.
Yeah.
So she ends up using the veto on Angela, and Quinn is then forced to put up Joseph for what we had talked about with Taryn a little while ago. And how he's like, why would you put up your ally? Because all of his allies were there.
Yeah. The whole house is his ally.
Yeah. So then Thursday rolls around, and this is where I'm pretty much convinced that they're silently doing an all-girl thing. So number one, I thought Rubina wasn't going to do well on the AI arena, but she ends up doing very well because she was in a skirt. So I thought it was going to slow her down, but she was so much smaller than the other two that she just like whips by them.
Also
And
an athletic skirt, so it has shorts underneath. And so
I still thought that it would see me in an athletic skirt, it would fuck me up. I would still be like, I'm in a skirt. You know what I mean? And I thought that's what she would be thinking. And she has to like climb up and down and whatever. And I was like, nope, just me. Everybody else is fine with athletic
yeah,
skirt.
I love an athletic skirt. I feel like I'm just wearing shorts and I can like climb a tree.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
No. Okay. So it's just me. That's fine.
Yeah, I love them.
I need to point this out before we get any farther. MJ was wearing Leah's dress, and I thought that it was the funniest thing in the world because Leah is like not the same size as MJ because MJ is 7 inches taller than Leah.
Yeah.
But MJ was like, I want to wear your dress. And Leah was like, fuck yeah, girl, wear my dress.
She couldn't sit down.
She couldn't sit down. You saw her. She couldn't actually sit. She had to like lower herself onto the couch.
Yeah, and if
She
you
actually
listen,
couldn't sit because it doesn't fit because they're not the same size. And I'm
If
telling
you-
you right now,
Uh,
Leah said, MJ said, I don't think it fits. And I promise you, Leah said, girl, you look so good in it. It fits.
but if you listen to when she's like trying to sit down, MJ goes, "This dress is so hard to sit down in."
And I just want to say that it was giving me and my best friend, Sarah. Like I'm telling you right now that I would wear a dress and like Sarah is 6 foot and I'm 5 foot fucking 2. 5 foot fucking 3, right? And Sarah would be like, I love that dress. I'm going to wear it. And I'd be like, Sarah, it's too short on you. And she'd be like, bet. And she'd wear it anyway.
I love it.
So like,
It's awesome.
like that's what it was giving. It was giving like me and Sarah, like friendship. Like it was so funny. I loved it. So I had to bring it up because it was so funny. So here is where my all girl thing comes in. And let's talk about the voting for a second. So before we go into the votes, Chemo was going home. Chemo was supposed to be going home. Chemo was going home. Chemo was going home. Okay. They end up coming up with some plan of Chelsea and T-Core to flip the vote and keep Chemo. Chelsea and T-Core talked about this. In the moment of voting, MJ switches her vote. MJ pauses, and MJ switches her vote to Chemo to save him. Which was, oh my God. What do you mean? So as I'm watching these people vote, me and Keenan are like, hold on, why are these people voting this way? Right? It didn't make any sense. Angela then gets into the voting booth and says, I have to vote Chemo out because I don't have the numbers to keep him. Okay? So as we're all sitting there, it ends up being a 4-3 vote. And no one, and I mean no one, understands why this is happening. No one understands why it's a 4-3 vote. No one understands why Joseph has gone home. No one. Here's where I think the All-Girl Alliance is. I believe that the All-Girl Alliance decided that they were going to get rid of Joseph, and they came up with the plan, and they did it. And T-Core and Chelsea had the plan. Chelsea and T-Core are the ones that talked to each other and came up with the plan. Now, here's the thing. Chelsea and T-Core voted opposite from each other for the first time ever. Here's the other thing. MJ and Leah voted against each other for the first time ever. What the fuck is that? If we're all in an alliance together and we all know what's going on and we're all in this women alliance and you have Angela and MJ talking about who they're going to vote and things like this, an all-girl alliance silently happening makes sense to me. And Leah and MJ voted different, and Chelsea and T-Core voted different because they were hiding the all-girl alliance. Because if they vote opposite from each other, Cam, Chemo, and Quinn probably don't pick up on it. Because why would they not? If it was a girl alliance, they would have voted together again. Why aren't they voting together again?
Okay.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
And then you have Angela going, I don't have the votes to keep them. But it would make sense that they would keep Angela out of the loop, really, and just plan on her vote because you can't trust Angela not to say anything.
Exactly, you're right.
And then why wouldn't they tell Rubina? Rubina was really is like this with Chemo and Tucker. So why don't you tell her? Because she was with the men and we're not sure that she's in with the girl alliance yet. So we're just dragging her with us. Because Because if you're doing an all-girl thing, you're doing an all-girl thing, whether Rubina wants it or not. You're dragging her with you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm doing an all-girl thing, I'm doing an all-girl thing, no matter if you want to be in it or not.
Yeah, no,
That makes
it
sense.
absolutely makes sense.
Mhm.
So I really think that they're hiding an all-girl alliance. I really do.
Love that.
Mhm.
And I really hope that they are, because I'm like, girls to the end, run it, let's do it.
Yes.
Like, down.
I was already like seeing like tweets and stuff like that where like it was, I don't remember what the meme was, but it was just like Quinn whenever he like finds out he's like the last guy in the house. So,
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. Like, all of a sudden, like, Quinn's gonna look around and be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And like,
Mhm.
they would leave Quinn for the end.
Yep.
They really would. Like, they would 100% get rid of Chemo before him, and they would 100% get rid of Cam before him.
Quinn's more useful in getting what they want, and then
Because he doesn't see it.
once
Because
he's the
he's
only one,
so... And he doesn't see it because Leah's made him so stupid. Like, that's the thing. Like, half of the reason that this all-girl alliance might actually work out is because of Leah. Like, and I said this to Keaton. I was like, it's going to work out because of Leah, because Leah has flirted with these boys so much that they're just so stupid around her. And so they're blind to it almost because they're so stupid
Yep.
about her. And I'm like, I'm down with it. Like, so I think that an all-girl alliance is silently happening and being hidden, and I'm really excited about it.
Same.
Yeah. So, moral of the story, Joseph goes home this week. HOH did get played, and Chelsea did win.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
hadn't checked yet, so
Yeah.
yay.
So, HOH is played, and Chelsea won.
Let me check if
Nominations either happened last night or tonight. It's like this afternoon.
see. TBD.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
So, it's this afternoon.
Oh, never. No. Noms, Chemo, and Angela.
Chemo and Angela. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
That's
right.
what
They're
she was
back down to
saying.
2 now, right?
Yeah. Which, let's talk about the AI arena. That was probably the best twist I've ever seen since, like, the power of veto. Like,
Yeah.
like, the power of veto was introduced as a twist in season 3, and then they just kept it. And I want you guys to do the same thing with this AI arena.
Yeah, I love it.
It made Thursday night so fucking fun again. It
Mhm.
made it unpredictable. You never knew who was going home. It allowed for vote flips. It allowed people to vote whoever they wanted. It didn't allow for like people to come together and make a unanimous decision. And I love that. I hope you bring it back, and you ended it at a perfect time. Like, the reason the jury is pushed back is because they kept AI Arena around for a couple more weeks.
Mhm.
And I'm okay with a smaller jury if it means that we keep the AI Arena around.
It's fun. And honestly, people on Reddit are saying, like, please keep this. Like, this is making the show.
Oh yeah.
Like this was the revamp you needed in the way that you needed it for the veto. You know what I mean? Like, you needed the veto because you needed something to like revamp the show, and you saw the issues that happened in the second season and you fixed them for that third season, and that ended up exponentially changing the show for the better. And like, that's what this AI arena was. Like, I don't care what you call it, like, just keep this.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, I can do without the whole like, AI twist to it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's made for like a lot of good moments this season.
Mhm.
Like the
Yeah.
whole like deep fake stuff and all that, which for some reason looks way better than like whatever the
It
fuck they
should.
call the AI thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like the actual AI thing looks like something from the fucking I'm Blue video by Eiffel 16.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it does. It does.
And then like they did the deep fake thing. I'm like, why can't you do this with that? Like, this looks so much better.
I know, because it looks awful. But I hate the deep fake shit. But the AI arena is great, and you can just revamp it every year to whatever the season like
theme is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think that they should absolutely keep it because it honestly made the show entertaining. It made Thursday nights fun. Like, Keenan was like excited for Thursday nights. Like, he's like, I have to watch tonight because it's Thursday.
Yeah, that's
You know
what
what I mean?
I've been doing too, because I love it.
Yeah. Like,
Mhm.
I watch them all live, but that's because I'm like in the cult. You know what I mean? And so and so like it's like fine, like I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I bought Paramount Plus so I could watch them live. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so like I'm fine, but like it made Thursday nights just like you can't miss it.
Mhm. Especially like this last one where like it was so fucking close there at the end, like between Rubina and Chemo. Like, Chemo
Yeah.
was right behind her.
Yeah, Chemo was right behind her. And it was fun. Like, you're watching a competition that's fun. It's happening live. Like, this is why we all miss the live HOH competitions, because it's fun to watch a competition live.
Mhm.
It's fun to see the result live. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
And so, like, they gave that back to us, and it's like, don't take it away. In fact, bring back the key wheel. You know what I mean? Like, keep on the trend. Give us the key wheel back. Because the key wheel, they used to do really strategic things where they would, like, Andy always explains that everybody would always put his key, like, next to last because it hid his alliances with everybody.
Mhm.
So everybody, like, never thought anything of it because he was always the second to last key. Like, oh, they just saved him because he's Andy. And it's like, yeah, they saved me because I'm Andy. You know? And so, like, I would bring back the key wheel. Bring it back. Give us finger pointing again. Bring it back. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying Big Brother this season. I'm really happy. Survivor starts September 28th. Nope, 18th.
That's what, next week?
Sure.
It might be next Wednesday.
Next week is the
11th. So
yeah.
it's the week after.
All right, cool.
Almost locked my phone. I love Survivor, guys. I'm so freaking excited.
Does that mean The Amazing Race is also like right behind that?
No.
No,
Oh.
no Amazing Race.
No, they only have one season Amazing Race
That's
a
right.
year.
We talked about that. My bad.
Mhm.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So they'll do it, like, I think that's a spring show. I think they do it in the spring, not the fall. They usually have some other, like, weird competition show in the fall that they try and, like, piggyback. But they're going to piggyback. I'm actually excited that they're doing this. So they're actually going to piggyback. Big Brother's changing to 9 p.m. So it's going to be like the 8 p.m. like to 8:30 or whatever
Mhm.
for Survivor, and then they're going to take that audience and piggyback it into Big Brother.
Oh, yay!
And I'm like, that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, you should have been doing that for I can't tell you how long,
Yeah.
because the same community watches it. Like, you should be piggybacking it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think that's everything. I'm excited that Bachelorette's over, and I'm excited that Big Brother is as good as it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hopefully Survivor will live up to what it is, because it always does. But Survivor's also easier because it's like they can edit it in like a different way. They have like the whole season and then they edit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not week to week.
Right. So I think that's everything. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Follow us on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram at Hot Garbage Pod. We have a surprise. We got a Twitter. We haven't tweeted on it yet, but we have a Twitter. It's called Hot Garbage Cast.
Yep.
Because we're trying to
Get Hot
there's
Garbage
somebody
Pod
else
taken
with Hot
down.
Garbage Pod, but they
Yeah.
haven't said anything since 2016, so we're trying to get that back from them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, you can follow us there. We're gonna give more like updates, like if like on there. Like that's why we got it, because like we realized that like we're all over the place with like episodes coming out and stuff. So we got a Twitter to keep you guys like updated on that. Like I'm
Mhm.
gonna live tweet during like the stuff. So follow us on there because we're gonna be more active on there probably than the other ones.
Yeah.
So give us a follow over there. Also check us out on YouTube at Hot Garbage Pod. Like I said, we're gonna get Hot Garbage Pod back from those 2016 people. There should be like an inactivity button. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I promise.
Yeah. We're on it. We're trying to get it back, but Elon took over, so
Yeah.
we'll see how well. He doesn't care. So don't forget to follow us, check us out, and as always, stay trashy.